Alright guys, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say the phrase CRJ-200? Be honest. A sardine can? A flying taxi that has a special plan in aviation lore? Small? Satan's chariot? Avoid at all costs? A tiny, itty-bitty has no need to be a jet-powered goofy owl regional jet that shakes ground in 4-knot winds? Yeah, let's be honest. The CRJ-200 doesn't particularly rank high in passenger comfort, especially if you're tall. But what if I told you that you can take one somewhere that doesn't have 50 seats? It only has 16. It's a VIP configured CRJ-200 with an all-first class 1-1 configuration. Okay, enough beating around the bush. Contour Airlines welcomed the CRJ-200 to their fleet to help out with the charter flight operations, and a few specific planes are in this all-first class cabin configuration. And due to limited aircraft availability, those special VIP planes are also put on a few scheduled flight routes on a pretty regular basis, and this just so happens to be one of them.
What's going on, guys? Casey Fly here. We're out of here, and we're going to see how it is flying on a VIP configured CRJ-200.
Online check-in for Contour consists of selecting the segments you'd like to check into, along with the traveling travelers and their basic documentation information. After confirming you don't have any firearms on you, you get to choose your seat again, and add additional bags if you ended up packing heavy last minute. And a few taps and spinny wheels later, you'll be rewarded with your boarding pass.
Alright, we are down at the boarding area, the same ground level boarding area we had with Cape Air last week. And we board in less than 10 minutes, and no one's at the gate to work the flight. I don't see anything posted on the screens. I assume this is the right spot. I'm seeing all the unmarked fun Contour CRJs in this area, so I would assume it is. But yeah, no, I'm not seeing any sort of sign of our flight to Kirksville posted anywhere.
Good morning. I would like to welcome you to the Contour flight with the non-stop services to Kirksville.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, did I mention we're going back to Kirksville?
Alright, if you missed the last video on Cape Air, here's some quick context. So last year I took a trip on Cape Air from St. Louis up to Kirksville, and that plane ended up having inoperative cabin heat, so that meant I got stuck in Kirksville for the night because the flight back down from Kirksville to St. Louis got cancelled. So they stranded me up there for the night, leaving me with nothing other than the hotel, and that was it. So long story short, that whole overnight me getting stranded up there ended up being a whole thing on my channel. So going back up to Kirksville today.
The 23-year-old November 924 Charlie November will be the star of the show today. She started her career in Europe and was delivered to Air Lavatory in April 2001 as India Alpha Delta Juliet Charlie, followed by Eurowings in July 2005 as Delta Alpha Charlie Romeo Oscar, then to Worldwide Aircraft Ferrying in Canada in July 2001 as Charlie Golf Mike Zulu Vector, then finally to Contour in May 2021 where she is now. Boarding got delayed about 15 minutes, but that round the waiting game came and went and it was time to get on.
How you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
The first row is actually back facing, which is cool to see. But I made my way back to seat 7K.
Welcome aboard the Contour VIP CRJ-200. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information on the seat specs, but this is it. 8 rows, 16 seats. Very spacious, very wide. Pretty good amount of legroom. Got a bunch of storage on the armrest right next to me. The one thing that isn't quite nice is that we're a bit far from the window, so I'm going to have to lean over to look out of it. But other than that, quick seat tour. There's no sort of overhead area, so my bags are just scattered there. But yeah, here's the seat. Pretty wide. Good amount of legroom. You got USB, universal power down there. And lights and call button down there. Also a space for my hat. The FL also came back with bottled water for everyone, so I don't think we have a flight attendant on this because technically we only have 16 passengers, and that's not enough for a cabin crew for a flight attendant. But yeah, very beautiful clean cabin we have here on the VIP CRJ.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Yeah, of course, enjoy.
Thank you so much.
So the flight attendant is actually out sick, and we don't need it because we only have less than 19 passengers. So the FO just came through with a snack basket with Biscoff cookies. And then one more fun thing about the seat, saving the best for last. This switch down here, pull up on that bottom part right there. The recline, still going, not done yet. Check it out, it reclines pretty much fully 90 degrees flat on a CRJ. How cool is that? And then one last thing, if you look at the window shade, it's not your typical CRJ window shade. if you pull out to the side like that. It's an actual shade. How cool is that?
And just after getting fuel in the plane, it was off to the races.
And because this airplane has less than 19 seats on it, we actually do not need a flight attendant on board. So that means that I get to be your flight attendant. So I'm going to give you the announcement here, tell you about the safety features and everything.
Alright, we are airborne out over here. The power outlet on my seat isn't working. It's not charging my phone. And it's a bit bumpy on departure, so I'm not going to go over there to the seat across from me and try theirs to see if the seat across from me's power outlet is or isn't working. But once it smoothens out properly, I'll go over and try it. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi. There is a little thing right up there that tells you what everything is and when it's equipped. So there's Wi-Fi when to bring your seat up, and no smoking, fasten seatbelts. To kind of make up for the flight attendant, kind of, sort of, not really. But anyway, there is Wi-Fi. It does say that it has Wi-Fi, but when I went into the Wi-Fi network and tried to connect, there's no network there. There was one in there that looked pretty sketch, so I did try it. I went in, but it gave me the no connection error. So for now, there's no Wi-Fi, but there might be later. I've been wrong before. But for now, just look out the window, look at the clouds. Enjoy the comfy seat, sit back, relax, lean back, and enjoy the CRJ ride to Kirksville.
Is this a Etihad resident suite? No, it's a Contour CRJ-200. Eat your heart out, Jeb Brooks. Eat your heart out. Anyway, good night.
We are not far from the top of the sun into Kirksville, so I'm going to real quick go through the loo review on the Contour VIP CRJ-200. Hopefully you can hear me alright. The engine's literally right there and right there. Got a mirror where the door is. You got a sink to sink things, faucet, soap, Kleenex, tissues. Got a toilet down there. More tissues, hand sanitizer. It's not the cleanest, but it's also not the dirtiest, if that makes sense. It's giving off a very dirty vibe for a private jet for some reason. I'm just not feeling that it's like nice, white, sleek and clean. It's very dark. I don't see any like dirt stains anywhere, but the color of it is just giving off very like dark color and not good looking, friendly vibe, if that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, here's the loo of the Contour CRJ, and we'll head down to Kirksville. Alright, we started our descent down into Kirksville. We'll be down in about 20 minutes. I did try the power outlet at the seats across from me and the two behind me. None of them worked, so I don't think any of them do work on this plane to charge your phone, which isn't great. And the Wi-Fi didn't work either, so it's pretty much all bark but no bite. Since it has Wi-Fi, it shows it has anti-power, but can't charge, can't connect, which isn't quite ideal, but it's only a 15-minute flight, which makes up for it. It's not the longest of flights, but hey, I'm not complaining. You got this beautiful seat in this beautiful cabin. Give me another RJ airline with a tiny CRJ-200 that I can lean all the way back in and take a nap. It does stink that this flight isn't longer and I can't take a proper nap, that we're not going to like the West Coast or maybe the East Coast or like Florida or something, or like the Caribbean, I don't know. But yeah, I do wish the flight was longer so I could actually do that. But yeah, we're heading down to Kirksville and it'd be nice to see it again.
After landing, the FO came through the garbage bag, acting as the pre-landing garbage run, but instead of pre-landing, it was post-landing. Alright, we are so back in Kirksville, sitting on the same couch I was on when I filmed that segment on the Cape Air Karen. This lady that sat behind me on the Cape Air Cessna 402 flight that kept telling me off for filming, and to put it short, she did not like me filming, and she turned me in and asked me to volunteer to turn myself in at the end, which is kind of funny.
Mr. Spielberg, do you want me to go to the camera with you when you turn yourself in? Filming the entire flight.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, we're back, and that's probably the ad for the Holiday Inn I was at when I had my overnight here. But it was fun, different, flying in on a big CRJ-200 opposed to the tiny Cape Air Cessna 402. I'm here for the next about 2 hours now, but I actually just heard lightning go off, so hopefully that doesn't mean anything too major. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to jinx anything. So hopefully I'm here for 2 hours. To pass the time, I'm going to write my Raleigh rating for the whole experience and for the whole flight. We'll get into that on the flight back. That I'll go over it and show you guys how that flight went. If you don't know what my Raleigh rating scale is, it's the scale that I use to rate and review my flights at the end of every one of these airline reviews. Very originally named because my first name is Raleigh. But anyway, yeah, on the way back, we'll get into that. A good hour went by, and so did the convective activity. An on-time departure with me flying out of here, unlike last time, was looking likely. Soon, everyone started to show up for the flight back to O'Hare, and TSA opened a whole 40 minutes before departure. What's the rush? Alright, everyone has made it through TSA, and we are waiting in the waiting room. There's about 10 of us heading back, so it's going to be relatively full heading back as well. And they have no idea about the private jet cabin they're about to get on.
Today, your flight attendant, her name is Alex. She'll be able to help you with whatever you need. Weather looks pretty decent. It's supposed to get waivers tonight, so please be careful.
Alright, we are boarded back on the VIP CRJ. The outlets are actually working this time on every seat. There's a green light down there showing that it's working, and I just tested it, and my phone's charging, which is nice. We also do have a flight attendant on this flight as well. She'll probably be pretty standard, just do good service and do the snack and drink runs, but that'll be about it. But yeah, on the flight back, should be relatively similar. We just have a flight attendant this time and a working power outlets. But yeah, let's move on to the Raleigh rating and see how Contour did today. The service was a 10 out of 10. As we had less than 19 seats, we didn't need a flight attendant, and we can legally continue without one. The captain was entertaining during the safety briefing, and the FO was good with performing the snack,
water, and trash runs, all on top of the pre-flight tasks. On the way back, our flight attendant was very friendly. After departure, she came through with the same snack selection and took beverage orders. The cleanliness was a 10 out of 10. This is basically a private jet, so keeping it clean and comfy on the inside really wasn't an issue. The overall atmosphere is very clean, including the carpets on the floor and the framing. What I said about the lavatory didn't mean much. I think it was just the colors tricking my brain with that illusion that made it think it was actually more dirty than it was. But I don't know. I don't know the psychology behind that. The Wi-Fi was 0 out of 10. There wasn't any, or if that weird network was it, then it didn't work. The food was a 9 out of 10. I'm going to be slightly biased with this one because there were Biscoff cookies involved. There were also pretzels, but we're Av geeks. We only care about the Biscoffs. And there were only pretzels and Biscoff cookies served on both flights. It would have been cool to have some more snacks to choose from for the general passenger who isn't an Av geek, but this flight was less than an hour, so a full meal would be really overkill. It was also nice having a selection of Coke soft drink products on the way back, as we had a flight attendant. The entertainment was a 4 out of 10. As nice as the cabin was, there was nothing to entertain the customer despite the short flight duration. There was no Wi-Fi, and you may get inoperative power outlets, so if you downloaded content to your own device, good luck keeping that battery alive if the power outlet ends up not working. On the bright side, every seat was a window seat, so you could comfortably sit back. Notice how I put emphasis on sit back, relax, and look outside. The seat was an 8.5 out of 10. Where else are you going to find a seat that fully retracts to almost 90 degrees on a CRJ-200? The seats were more than wide enough, and the legroom was also more than enough to be comfortable. As mentioned, I couldn't find any specific numbers on the seat pitch, width, or recline, so you'll just have to look at the video visual. I'm only 6 foot. Okay, fine, I'm 5'9", but that visual probably isn't helping though. There was plenty of storage room on the side by the window, and a storage slot with enough space for carry-on as there are no overhead bins. Unfortunately, it wasn't big enough for my backpack, so I had to gate check it. It isn't great that the power outlets in each seat were present, but didn't work on the first leg, so keep that in mind pre-flight as they aren't guaranteed to work. There also isn't a headrest on the seats, and the seat back isn't the tallest, so it may be awkward leaning your head back. In essence, it was a standard wide and high-pitched first-class seat, and it served its purpose for what it is, so the overall Raleigh rating for this flight's going to be a 6.9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's why I got a short so fast, because like I need to get out there and prepare.
Now you're probably wondering how you can catch a ride on one of these funny CRJs, and how much I paid. Well, Contour will only use these planes as equipment swaps in the case if one of the 30-seat aircrafts can't make the trip. So, it's mostly by chance and a little bit of research. You'll most likely be booking a last-minute trip to catch one of these birds. On Contour's Apple website, they will show up as CRJ-200_16 when booking. I got lucky, and I was able to see the accurate flight information that said that a couple weeks in advance. Oh yeah, and I paid $182 USD and 39 cents round trip for this. I hope you enjoyed watching my review on it as much as I did flying on it for myself, and I look forward to bringing you on my next adventure.
Bye for now.